There's a limited workforce for the shipping companies. Because of new COVID regulations and rules, there's been a shortage on their ability to have 24 hours in a day to operate. They have to have less people in the building at one time. They have different new protocols that are a little bit more expensive. So before you could run 24 hours a day and have, let's say 150 people in a room sorting packages, now you have to work 10-hour shifts, leave 4 hours for cleaning, and have less people coming in contact. So that's again, less workers with more influx of shipments. That means delays across the board. Some carriers contract their truckers out. So you're literally working with a subcontractor who's responsible for maintaining their own vehicles, hiring their own drivers, fuel, purchasing new vehicles if needed. And since rising fuel costs and labor shortages, those contractors are having a tough time fulfilling their obligation to the major carriers. And there's some big carriers in the market who rely on contractors and who have purchased routes that they're required to maintain. And also from a coast-to-coast perspective, where we would have drivers drive from point A to point B all the way through to East Coast, you're not able to find those drivers anymore because a lot of them retired, or they're not working, or they're again, there's more restrictions on hiring as well too. So that makes it very difficult from a carrier perspective because they're working with less people and there's more restrictions than before. And again, employees are requiring more money to work as well. And at some point in time, the carriers will say, hey, listen, we'll do less than more, because doing more doesn't make us more money, right? So why hire 5 more people if it doesn't make us any more money? So they rather work with less and let the consumer be the one who feels the pain rather than them losing money. So that's kind of the carrier perspective. We're also at such a high demand right now of packages and pallets and freight that there's only so many planes and boats available. You can't just go out and make a whole bunch of 747s tomorrow, right? It takes time. The other problem too is a lot of freight used to move on commercial airlines. Just recently did the country start opening up where we could put freight back on airlines and relieve some of the boats, some of the trucks. On the flip side, when most companies went through COVID shutdowns and they realized that some people were pivotal parts of their business and some people were luxuries of their business, the warehouse logistics specialists, those folks within those companies, organizations, for some reason they either got let go, misappropriated, they put in another division, they put people who they wanted to keep around like salespeople in those roles. So now you have somebody who's been in sales their whole life who has to become the logistics manager, and they don't know what to do. And so that's where our team really comes in and helps educate companies and organizations without having to hire more people. Now, we're not against them having people to hire, but we're there to help as a support system where it doesn't need to be 5 people, maybe it's only 2. And we're helping facilitate kind of how to manage things without getting really crazy. Or if for whatever reason, because your industry is different, you had to let somebody go, we come in and fill those shoes in, and it's free. We don't charge for that. It's part of our service. So if you work with us and you book a shipment with us, we have somebody who's tracking that shipment, who's booking that shipment, who's looking out for you, who tells you when it gets delivered, who's going to give you a proof of delivery, and then help you make sure it gets invoiced properly when the time is up. So there's a big issue there with, again, accountable, educated people making decisions, because if your logistics manager is new or even it's been there for a long time, they're only getting perspective of 1 or 2 people ever, right? So maybe they're working with their carrier reps or they're reading trade journals. But the way we operate is we're in every piece of the supply chain, and we have experts who've been doing this for a long time. It only benefits us to give you the best options. Like we're a small business owner too, so like if we can't make you happy, we can't make it. We don't have a business. So and we're not married to one carrier. We don't just work with, one color. We work with multiple colors because we care what's best for the customer's business. So the educational piece really affects it because sometimes right now there's no one to hire, especially at the cost they want, or B, the business just changed so much they don't need anybody in that seat, so we fill that role for them.